and welcome to MCSN. I'm Freya Dahlgren. Thanks for joining us. At the beginning of the school year, Dr. Jo Allen announced that she would be stepping down from her role as Meredith's president. Now, as the school year comes to an end, we know who will be replacing her. Reporter Grace Dunn attended the announcement ceremony and brings us the story.
Drum roll, please. Meredith community, I would like to introduce Meredith College's ninth president, Dr. Amy Sapp.
Dr. Amy Sapp walked on stage to a standing ovation. The search committee says out of 95 applicants, she was the one they unanimously chose. Sapp has worked in higher education for more than 25 years, most recently as Chief Academic Officer at William Woods University in Missouri. She says one thing that drew her to Meredith was the traditions.
One thing I learned about Meredith early on is that you all know how to make moments count. I absolutely love how your traditions here are so deeply meaningful and they connect across generations, all who have ever called Meredith home.
Dr. Sapp will be Meredith's ninth president. She'll be replacing Dr. Jo Allen, who has been president for the past 13 years. President Allen held back tears during the introduction ceremony.
As I prepare to leave office, I must admit that I will miss being your president, but I'll always be your most faithful alumna and friend. Thank you. I love you all.
Dr. Sapp says she's looking forward to starting her time here on July 1st. Grace Dunn, MCSN.
In our next show, I'll be sitting down with President Allen for an exclusive interview to talk about her time at Meredith and what her plans are for the future. Meredith is only 1 mile away from NC State, which is why many Meredith students like to cheer on the Wolfpack. So now that their women's and men's basketball teams have made it into the Final Four, Meredith students are sharing in their excitement. Reporter Kat Whetstone caught up with some Angels who are cheering on the Pack.
There was a severe adrenaline rush. I am so excited. I'm jealous because my sister and my dad are going to Arizona to watch the game.
I'm stoked. I think it's like a historic moment, and I think it's so awesome that both the women's and men's teams are in it together. And yeah, I think they're just underestimated, so I'm super excited to watch them this weekend.
I am absolutely thrilled. I'm a lifelong Wolfpack fan. My whole family went to state. I'm such a big fan, and I've never seen in my lifetime really like state basketball, men's basketball. Let me clarify. Women are always great. The state basketball team, the men's, do so well, and I'm going to Arizona actually, so I'm going to the Final Four. I told every when I was watching with, okay, if they make it to the Final Four, I'm going. I didn't want to jinx it. I didn't want to go to Dallas, but here we are, and I bought my plane tickets. I've got the Airbnb booked, and go Pack because I'm going to be there.
The Wolfpack women's Final Four game against South Carolina is tonight at 7 p.m. The men's Final Four game against Purdue will be on Saturday at 6 p.m. Meredith is a part of the Cooperating Raleigh Colleges Consortium, which means Meredith students can take classes at the other colleges in the group. But one of the group's members, St. Augustine's University, is fighting for survival. Reporter Jocelyn Calles has the latest.
Thursday, March 28th was the last day for in-person classes for St. Augustine University students. Virtual classes begin April 1st. Some of the professors have already made the switch to online classes, so the transition would be smoother. A select number of students, which include athletes, international students, and students who have internships, will be allowed to remain on campus until May 4th. Interim Marcus Burgess met with staff, students, and parents on March 18th to inform them. On March 19th, the Wake County School Board voted to terminate its partnership with the HBCU for its Leadership Academy, an early college program, after the current semester. The university lost their accreditation and subsequent appeal this month. Also, the university owes the IRS nearly $8 million. St. Augustine's University failed to pay its employees on time several times over the last few months. Jocelyn Calles, MCSN.
As we get close to graduation, many Meredith students are hoping to take their senior pictures at some of the campus's most famous places. But one of those spots isn't looking so great. As we reported in December, Meredith Lake was drained as a part of a City of Raleigh inspection. Right now, the lake is still empty. We reached out to facility services who told us that they would begin refilling the lake this week. They say that it will be at least 2 weeks before the lake is at normal levels. Students are gearing up for one of the spring's biggest traditions, Stunt. Reporter Elena Cook tells us more about the event and why some students say they won't be participating.
This year's stunt will take place here at the Belk Dining Hall courtyard on April 12th. It's a Meredith Spring Day filled with various fun activities and friendly class competition. In honor of Alice in Wonderland, the theme has been announced as MC Down the Rabbit Hole. But some students say they're not ready to jump into the fun. After this past year's Cornhuskin, there are seniors who say they don't trust the judging system after what they believe was an unfair loss.
I've heard a lot of seniors boycotting Stunt. They feel like we haven't been supported by the college. A lot of us feel like we've been ripped off the last few years in Cornhuskin and just the other traditions.
We spoke to a staff member who served as a Cornhuskin judge. They said there were some delays calculating the scores, but they believe the outcome was fair. The organizers of Stunt say they're looking forward to a great event and they hope to see you there next week. Ilana Cook, MCSN.
Tea for Two is another spring campus tradition. It will be held on Saturday from 10 to 12:30 at the Crabtree Marriott. Here with more details on this year's event is reporter Mariella Nugent.
Meredith College's Tea for Two is a gathering that unites sophomore students with their mentors. This tradition started in 1991. Things will be a little different this year. Seniors will be joining sophomores for Tea for Two since they missed theirs due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Students can look forward to bringing a significant woman in their lives, like a mother or grandmother, for tea and brunch. Organizers say it's a heartfelt tribute to honor those mentors and the support and guidance they've given throughout their lives. Mariella Nugent, MCSN.
If you're looking for things to do this month, you're in luck. Here with the latest in entertainment news is reporter Sophie Ezzedine.
We start this week's entertainment off with 2 more stars coming to Raleigh later this year. AJR is set to perform with Dean Lewis on April 9th at PNC Arena, and just recently announced Meghan Trainor will visit Raleigh later on in the year on September 12th at Red Hat Amphitheater. Speaking of stars, let's head right on over to this weekend's events, where quite a few familiar faces will be in Raleigh in the coming days. SZA, Nicki Minaj, and Lil Yachty are just some of the stars who will be attending this year's Dreamville Festival. The event will take place at Dorothea Dix Park and will provide outdoor music, festivities all throughout this weekend. We also have Dessert Wars happening on April 6th from 3 to 7 p.m. at NC State Fair Exposition Center. Organizers of the event promise a wide array of desserts ranging from cupcakes, cookies, ice cream, and donuts as local vendors all fight for the title of Dessert Champion. Lastly, we have the opening performance of Miscast by Meredith College's own Extra Theater Company. The show opens this Friday, April 5th. And with that, we come to the end of this week's segment. Sophie Ezzedine, MCSN.
Thanks, Sophie. And now, let's turn to Angels Athletics. Reporter Piper Carrier joins us now with an update on spring sports.
Meredith Spring Sports are now getting into the midst of their season after a successful month in March. Softball is now 9-7 after their spring break trip to Orlando, Florida for the spring games. Pitchers Lily Davis and Hannah Weigel have been impressive on the mound for the Angels, with a 2.81 and 2.51 ERA respectively. Sophomore Emily Lewis leads the team with a .563 batting average and 18 hits. The team looks to continue their impressive season as they get into conference play this week. The lacrosse team now holds a record of 4-4, including a 23-0 win over conference opponent Greensboro College. Over spring break, the team traveled to Panama City Beach to take on Eastern Connecticut State in the Spring Fling Tournament, where they were able to take home a 17-10 victory. Freshman Kenzie Todd has been a highlight for the Angels as she earned herself 3 straight USA South Rookie of the Week awards. Lacrosse will also get into conference play starting this week. The Meredith track and field team most recently competed at the Adidas Trojan Challenge in Mount Olive. The team saw 5 athletes finish in the top 5 of their events. Delaney Bundy finished first in the 5,000-meter run. Maddie Myrna also earned a first-place finish in the 3,000-meter steeplechase. Andrea Gallegos finished third in both the 1,500 and 800-meter runs. Carly O'Toole finished 4th in the 1,500-meter run, and Bree Jones finished 4th in the high jump. And the tennis team wraps up March with a 4-6 record. Hannah Higgins and Claire Southern have been dominant for the Angels in the #1 doubles spot, and Anna Bittler and Ellie Osborne have also been solid for the Angels in both singles and doubles matches. The Angels now have 5 matches remaining, all against USA South opponents. That wraps it up for this week's recap, and for more information on Meredith Athletics, visit goavengingangels.com. Piper Carriere, MCSN Sports.
Thanks, Piper. And thank you for joining us for this edition of Meredith College Student News. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks for watching.